And welcome back. I just realized the FPS counter was sitting up there very annoyingly. We'll just chase that away. Now I hope you're feeling well rested and well exercised. I went and did some stretches, did some exercises as well, so that I could be prepared for the next few hundred centuries. Now we're still in the before Common Era, and we can see that Japan is unsurprisingly heavily militarized. They have mustered a large army. However, the level of technology in their army seems to be fairly primitive, and this is consistent with what we know of history. Japan did not progress very far technologically until they met with China. Or actually, I mean, that's a common misconception. It was actually Greece that they met with that spurred their development. Japan did not actually have a written alphabet until they were introduced to Greece, and thenceforth used Greece's alphabet as its own, though they created alphabets of their own later. And we have unlocked mathematics in 625 BC, which allow us to create catapults, which will be handy if we ever need to go to a siege, and will give us courthouses, which will be handy once Alexander is born and we need to start on the trail of conquest. That means we get to choose our next research. Let's see what we can do to move us forward as swiftly as possible. Ironworking, perhaps. Trapping and masonry. What will masonry give us? Construction, walls. Don't necessarily need that right now. Trapping, right. So that increases the gold output. We're actually going to study theology, as the Greek did in this time. They were considering what created the world, what created them. More and more, they're beginning to come up with some unified theories. Pantheons of gods, which were later co-opted by the Romans. But we're going to see where that leads, as theology will open us up to education, the most important advancement in the game. Now we're seeing some fertile lands out here, but not a lot of resources. So we're going to continue on, and we're just going to cancel that so that we can get them moving. Let's see what we can do here. Now Warsaw's not letting us through, and that's upsetting. But, you know, that's okay. That's okay. We're going to move on a little further. Now, there seems to be a dispute between Florence and Cape Town. Florence would like us to remove Cape Town, but that's not going to happen as we have good relations with Cape Town, and I have no desire whatsoever to violate the trust that we built between our two peoples. So Florence is going to have to come around and accept that Cape Town is simply Cape Town. Cape Town would like to see a natural wonder. Wouldn't we all? We have found some, what are these? Barbarians. So it appears that our hoplites will be battling with them soon. So as we saw, Cape Town would like us to find a natural wonder. And perhaps we shall. We shall see. But for now, we're going to continue on exploring as we were, and that's really the only way that we're going to find a natural wonder anyway. Now, I wonder, it doesn't look like there's a land bridge there, does it? As barbarians are wisely trying to avoid the hoplites, and we're rapidly approaching the birth of Alexander. So we're just going to have the hoplites dispense of these barbarians in another decisive battle, though not quite as swift a victory as I would have hoped. But these hoplites are fighting in unknown terrain. They are out past Japan now. This is perhaps Korea up here, or it could even be Russia. We'll see. We shall see. Now they're trying to escape. Obviously we're not going to let that happen. Go on, hoplites, take those guys out. Excellent work. And we have found a natural wonder. Look at that. Just on schedule, 525 BC, we found the Barringer Crater. Now, Barringer Crater is a very large depression in the Earth, and that's increased our happiness. This is one of the sites where it was believed that dinosaurs may have found their end with the impact of a great crater. So let's continue on. Unmet player has entered the medieval era, naturally. Natural wonder, we're now an ally of Cape Town. Excellent, excellent. Now we're going to need to take out those archers, which means we need to get up close to them. Now the downside to this is that our hoplites are wounded and these archers are fresh. But there's really nothing we can do about that now, except perhaps to have them heal instantly as their promotion. Wonderful, wonderful. We are now allied with Cape Town. We've increased our influence, and that is our first ally in the game. That's great. That's just great. We can see that Cape Town and Florence are having some disagreements, but there's very little we can do about that now. And we finished a library in Athens, and that's just wonderful. And it's time to start building the companion cavalry, because really Alexander's going to be born very soon. And as much as I would like to build a wonder, we need to focus on practical things right now. Cape Town is ally. Good, good. We'll move on to our next turn. I see Montezuma may be making overtures to Florence, which could lead to a conflict between our two nations. And here we go. Why were they not able to strike back? Unfortunate, but now they will do so. I do not take kindly to that kind of treatment of my soldiers. And, of course, neither does the neophyte ghost of Alexander. Onwards and upwards, my friends. Now we see more sheep. This may be a good area in which to settle near the crater. I'm going to just have them move on. Oh, they can't. So I'll have them heal, and then we're going to find where those barbarians are coming from, and we're going to crush them. They're going to be utterly crushed. Now, citizen management, we are having a focus on food, but we don't need to have a focus on food anymore, because we're doing well with food. So what we're going to need now is a focus on science, because we are falling behind, as we've said. I'm going to see if there's something we can purchase to help us out here. We have exactly 310 gold, which will be exactly enough to buy a worker, which is exactly what we need right now. We're just going to return to the map and move along. Our new workers are going to be ready soon. Hoplites are healing well. Now this worker, I'm going to get him just working. We need to build a road between Sparta and Athens, but these gentlemen seem to have that under control. But you know what? We're Just gonna have them build a route to Sparta. Route cancelled. Whose route was cancelled? Ah, I see, yes. So they really were just in the midst of creating an improvement. We'll just have those workers do their own thing. And then move on. Moving into the medieval era all over the place. Our treasuries are very low, but we're moving along. We're moving along. Let's get a wider view up here. Montezuma is doing something with Cape Town and Florence. It may just be that those jaguars were cut off by my cultural barrier, which, as you may know, is my plan. Now, people with the pointiest sticks. Now, look at that. It's me, right behind Nobunaga. Well then. Interesting. That's very interesting. I would not have suspected that. I do not have a large army, but I suppose it is a larger one. No, I don't think so. I don't think so, my friend. Goodbye. I apologize for the interruption, and we are back. But not for very long. These hoplites, we're just going to move them around here. And before we go on to our next turn, we're going to take a break. Please remember to rate this course, comment on it, and subscribe to this teacher if you'd like. I'm always happy to teach you more. Let me know what you'd like to learn, and we'll get it ready. All the best. See you in the next lesson.